Hello my friends and welcome. Today we're going to be playing some Bloons Monkey City and we're going to make a tutorial video for you. So the main point of this video is to show you guys how to play some reasonably difficult tracks and how to beat them very easily. So we're going to show you very difficult tile. We're going to play Impossible, we're going to play Regen, we're going to play DDT. So literally like the hardest tile that you can get, right? We're going to show you guys how to beat it without very many issues. So obviously if we can beat this tile, you can beat any of the tiles that are slightly easier than this. Just follow this, reasonably well. So first things first, in most situations, I always recommend going with a farm. Highly recommend it. If you can get one, if you can afford one, at least get a 1-0 farm. Now if you want to get really greedy, that's when you can go for a 2-0 farm. But this is a risky move. This is something that you don't always want to do. This is something that you should only do if you're a fairly good player and you feel like you can micro out of it fairly well. So now what you want to do is get a ninja. We know, get a ninja, man. We're going to go for a 1-1 ninja, and we're going to have to play it a little bit safe because we're going to have to go for pretty quick, sharp shurikens. So hopefully we can get him up before we see any pinks or anything like that. And yep, we can. So we get the sharp shurikens. We feel a little bit better, but round 1 is definitely one of those weird ones where it can be fairly difficult near the end. It can give you a lot of pinks or even some whites or something like that. And keep in mind that this is a regrow tile. So if we get regrow pinks coming out on round 1, yeah, it's definitely not going to be an easy time. So I'm not going to be using my free dart monkey because I know not everybody has the free dart monkey. Feel free to use it. It obviously helps. Especially if you're, fighting tiles that only have 20 rounds or something like that. Like a free dart monkey really does make a difference. To me, not quite so much. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a 3rd tier ninja. You guys know the drill. The basic plan, always try and get a 4th tier ninja pretty much as fast as possible and use support towers as they are needed. So we get a 3rd tier ninja already. Fantastic. Everything's going extremely smoothly. Only issue would be if we saw some lead balloons coming out. Well, we had very little money, though the chances of that happening on round 2 or whatnot, definitely not very high or anything like that. So check it out. Regrow whites, no problem. Whites, no problem. Blacks, no issues. Whatever, man. We take them down like a rock star. Now, if you want to be really, absolutely, crazily greedy, you can start getting more farms, though I highly recommend against it. Just save up for that 4th tier ninja and feel safe about it. But check it out, we got some big, heavy balloons coming in here. Regrow pinks and everything. Ooh, yeah, those are a little bit on the difficult side, right? No, not really. We can actually take them down. So this is the micro thing that I was telling you guys about. Whenever you're playing Bloons Monkey City, it's going to be random on what type of balloons end up coming out. So I can't tell you that on round 6 we're going to have to fight this. And that's kind of sad. But you can still be ready for it. So you always want to, make sure you micro. And what do I mean by micro? Again, I like to repeat this every once in a while. You want to make sure you do whatever it takes to pop the blues. Be the most efficient thing you can do, whatever I can do. So obviously we can't micro the ninja. We can't do anything with him besides first class, low, and strong, right? We really can't do much with him. But if we wanted to, we could build a mortar and micro him around by moving him around and making sure he's popping as many balloons as we possibly can get him in here. So anyways, look at that. We can already afford a 4th tier ninja. Whoa, that's pretty darn sweet. So I'm going to get him. But we have to be a little bit careful. Lead balloons would be a pretty big problem for us. Definitely. So at this point, you got 2 decisions. You can either go for a mortar or a cannon. I'm going to go and get ready for round 6, which is going to be very deadly MOAB tile. This is pretty much the first round that MOABs usually come out, is round 6. I've seen as early as round 3 in really ridiculous situations back in the day, but it's a pretty big rarity. So make sure you always put your MOAB maulers on strong. We want them to attack the MOAB layer. We want them to attack the BFB layer. Now, if you don't get the MOAB mauler in time, you are going to have to use a few sets of road spikes. We haven't had to use any yet. By the way, what's up with the spike factory, Chris? Why didn't you get a spike factory? That's just a little bit silly, right? Not really, not in my opinion. So we also need to make sure we get distraction. Don't forget about that. It's a fairly important upgrade. It took me a few seconds to get that guy, but we indeed microed him out of here. So check it out. We've got a ceramic coming in here. Woo! We distracted him nice and easily. And we get our MOAB mauler. So now we feel really good against the MOABs, right? We do, abso-freaking-lutely, but we still are not excellent against the balloons. But this is the point where you really gotta get going with the amount of money. You want to make sure you're going to have an easy round 30, because that's the worst thing ever. I'd rather lose some lives on round 7 than die on round 30. That's just, it's terrible, because it's very rare that you're going to lose lives on round 30. You're usually going to just die. You're usually just going to lose all 190. A DDT is going to run through or something crazy like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our road spikes ready, just in case anything crazy happens. If we get to see a lot of Regal Rainbows, we're just going to, spam 20 sets of road spikes really quick. But we're going to try and get our 3rd tier banana farm. Or, if you don't want to be greedy and you want to be very, very safe, which, you can do that. I totally understand those people that they don't want to lose lives. If you're really that crazy person that doesn't want to lose any lives whatsoever, then you can just get a mortar and or a cannon. So we got the 3rd tier farm, right? We feel good. We feel fantastic. We only have 3 towers. We already got a 3rd tier farm. Only 2 towers and the farm. But now we have to start worrying. Like, we could have some pretty big rushes coming in here. It could be pretty big amounts of balloons. We could have pretty big amounts of... We could have double MOABs coming out right now. Yeah, we got to get ready for them. We got to do something against them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a cannon. So I'm going to put my cannon right here. The reason why I picked this spot is because he never ever misses in this spot. You keep him on close. We're going to get a 3rd tier cannon. Think about the explosion. It's going to be pretty much, we're going to hit a little bit of balloons here, we're going to hit a little balloons here, we're going to hit all the balloons right in this area, though. That's the main area that we want to kill. So we're going to make sure we kill all the balloons in that area. We're going to get a 3rd tier cannon, but 3rd tier cannon by himself is actually pretty bad. So you're going to need some sort of support tower. What kind of support tower are we going to get? A mortar. Alright, we're going to get a Bernie Stuff mortar. So check this out. We got some pretty awesome sauce explosion action in here, but it's still not enough. Check out that cannon. He's getting rid of a lot of the lower level balloons. Still not good enough to stop everything, but yeah, pretty good. So we got a random ceramic leaking in here. Make sure my ninja's going to take care of him. He does indeed. Fan-frickin-tastic. So micro, again, important. Extremely, extremely important. We've got a really nice mortar in here. Get ready to get him up to signal flare or something if we get some camo LEDs coming in here. I could use the anti-camo dust. Obviously a better way to go about doing it, especially if you do it quickly. But it's up to you. If you have anti-camo dust, it's really not necessary to get the signal flare yet. Late game, yeah, you definitely want to get it. But right now, it doesn't really matter that much. Whenever you see a MOAB, you can still micro around him. Just get some random explosions in here. They obviously help the 3rd tier cannon do his explosion job. That's the main point of him. And at this point in the game, Spike Factory, yeah, so we didn't do it early game. But the only reason that we didn't do it early game is because we didn't want our ninja... we didn't want to have a 3rd tier ninja on, round 8, on round 6. We wanted that 4th tier ninja. We needed the 4th tier ninja to survive against those MOABs. It's sad. There's not many ways to survive against MOABs, though. There really isn't. It's kind of lame that you really almost need a 4th tier ninja. That's why I put a lot of my cards in the 4th tier ninja, by the way. That's sad. I can't really make my 4th tier ninja worse, but my 4th tier ninja is slightly better than yours. So here we go. We've got a few sets of MOABs coming out here. We got double MOABs now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to micro just a tiny bit. You get the Bernie stuff over here, and check it out. Check out that micro action. We easily take down all these balloons, and we feel really safe because we got the Spike Factory in the back. We don't have to spam road spikes all over the place. So at this point of the game, you're thinking, all right, Chris, we've got a lot of money. We've got a 3rd tier farm. What are we gonna do? Well, if normal Chris would be spamming farms, I would have gotten like 4 or 5 farms by now, all 2-0, and just, I don't know, sat there with getting a bunch of money and thinking about how many farms I can get and thinking about how I'm going to get a 4th tier farm. That's normal Chris. But tutorial Chris is thinking, no, that is just too darned greedy. We don't need to do that at all. We need to get a monkey village in here because that's another way to save money, and we need to start getting our entire defense set up. So we're going to get a few more of these MOAB Maulers. And just keep in mind that this is a DDT tile. Yes, I know. Crazy. DD-frickin-Ts. Check this out. Oh my goodness, man. These balloons try to sneak on through, but we're like, no, man, get out of my house. Get out of my house. So we're going to build a few more MOAB Maulers. We're going to try and get up to that 2-3 monkey village. Just thinking long term here. What's the plan? We're going to get up to that 2-3 monkey village and get an Arctic Wind. And once you get that, you got cannons, you've got the Arctic Wind, you've got infinite balloon popping power. You got everything pretty much set up. So here's triple MOABs, by the way. Still, I feel like we're like almost losing lives, but our ninja's just too freaking boss, and it just nothing's getting through him, man. Look at that. We got a few balloons in here, but of course we Spike Factory him right away. So I'm going to continue on with a few more MOAB Maulers. The faster we pop those MOABs, the faster we can pop balloons. It's faster the ninja can distract and everything. But we don't want to go too crazy with these guys. What if a big Regal Rainbow Rush comes out or something like that? We're going to be doomed. Absolutely. So we got to be very, very careful with that. Just overall, just be careful. Micro, again, I don't know what's going to come out for you, so you have to think about what's going to come out. It could be anything, and you have to be ready for it. So if we do see a big rush of balloons, a big Regal Rainbow Rush, what will we do? Well, we already have a pretty nice setup in here, so check out these Regal Rainbows. We're going to get a... Well, it really wasn't that big of a rush, but we're going to get the 4th tier cannon anyways. Now, we're not going to need him later on. Oh, he missed. He missed. It's alright. We had enough popping power, but feel free to sell something like a Spike Factory or something if you really need the money, but I felt pretty safe against those guys. But now we have a 4th tier cannon. Now, this is not a late game tower. 4th tier cannons, they seem really awesome, right? But when you have big millions of ceramics coming out and stuff like that, it's not going to work. Trust me on that. It's just not going to work. So instead, what you have to do is you have to switch over to that Arctic Wind that we were talking about. But for now, absolutely, this guy's going to stop a BFB. No problem. No big deal at all. So we still got the money flowing in. Keep in mind, again, I could easily farm some more. We're just not going to do it. We don't need to worry about that stuff, guys. Absolutely not. We're going to need a few more MOAB Maulers, and then we're going to save up for that really, really nice 03 Monkey Village. So, ooh, look at this. We got a pretty hefty ceramic rush over here. So check out this 4th tier cannon. Doing a good job. You know, he's letting a few of them leak on through. But, of course, when you got a little bit of burning stuff in there, no big dealio. And we're going to get him. He's $4,200. Not that bad overall. If you really think about it, like, you're like, wow, $4,200. That's a really expensive upgrade, right? Yeah, it seems really expensive. But when you think about the epicness of having every single one of these towers now be able to pop balloons, it's like, woo! Now, that is awesome sauce. Now, I put my farm here because if I wanted to upgrade him up to a 4th tier farm, I'd have him in range of the Monkey Village. Or just get another farm, you know, kind of in the range here. I don't know if it fits, but if you could fit him in... Oh, this might be kind of close. But if you want to, you know, if you're that type of guy where you really want to own the level, put your farm here. Now, if you really don't care and you're just like, get him out of the way, put him down in the corner, put him up there, put him down over here, it really doesn't matter. So we're going to speed this up. We're feeling pretty darn good about ourselves. And we're going to get ready for that Arctic Wind, my friend. Get that infinite balloon popping power. We're also going to leave our mortar right over here. Make sure he's, you know, Bernie stuffing with that 4th tier cannon. Make sure we pop all those balloons. So you can tell our balloon popping power is still a little bit limited. I mean, we could definitely have some more. But instead of going kind of weird and crazy, we're going to go like this. We're going to go 1, 2, and Arctic Wind. Perfect timing. We had Arctic Wind right when some balloons might have been like a slight issue. Now check it out. The Ninja now has ice popping power. Right? Yeah. What? Yeah, dude, we do. We have ice or frozen popping power now with our Ninja. It's crazy. I know, but it's awesome. It's awesome as well. And we don't need this guy anymore. We have infinite balloon popping power. It's awesome, right? So I could have put my Arctic Wind a little bit lower. It would have been alright and kind of fun. But instead, you know what we can do? We can do something fancy. We can go, whoop, whoop. Alright, now we got a 3-2. And check out the range, man. It goes exactly where we want it. Exactly where we mother effing want it. Alright, so we got a bunch of money over here. It's only round 18, but we have to get ready for the DDTs. The DDTs can pop out anytime after round 20. Usually they don't stick. They don't come out until round 25 or so. But you just have to be ready for them. So we're going to get a couple more cannons. Remember to keep picking up your nanners. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And make sure they are all on strong, my friends. Make sure they are on strong. So this is the weird one, right? So this is where I'm going to have to wait to sell my farm. I'm going to wait till probably around 24 or something like that. We can fit some more cannons over here for now. 1, 2. And we also have to make sure that we get our mortar upgraded, man. Yeah, I know, it's weird. Signal flare. It's weird, but you gotta do it. You absolutely have to do it. We're gonna put him right here for now. Seems like kind of a bad spot, but if we pop the DDTs before they get over here, it's just gonna vaporize those, regrow camo ceramics. Then we don't have to worry about them, you know? We don't have to worry about it. Once we know that they're not camoized anymore, we just feel absolutely good about ourselves. Another thing to be kind of safe and be like, oh, just in case random regrow ceramic leaks through, get a reasonable Spike Factory. If you have the money for it, you know, of course, if you have the money for it. So we see our first Oh My God. So we know, oh my goodness, yeah, we could have a pretty big issue against these guys, right? Yeah, probably not. I don't see them being a big issue. Check it out. We popped the Oh My God pretty quickly, and we still have a bunch of money. We have a bunch of MOAB Maulers. We still have, how many cannons left do we have? 5 more cannons left. What? Yeah, dude. So we're feeling absolutely amazing. DDTs, on the other hand, those guys can still be a pretty big pain in our buttocks. My butt's sore today. Probably not from what you think. No, I'm not gay, but I was working out, and I'm sorry if that was offensive, by the way. But I was working out, and Oh man, they really kicked my butt today. They really did. They almost literally. They kicked my butt. I didn't even know what the heck was going on anymore by the end of the workout. It was 30 minutes long of cardio, and I just did my leg workout yesterday, and like I thought cardio would be more like, you know, move your arms around and just kind of jump around and stuff like that. No, they were like making you lift weights hardcore on your legs and everything. It was ridiculous. So, alright, round 25. Like I said, DDTs can come out anytime after round 20, but usually they come right around round 25. That's usually what we got to deal with. So here we go. We got a bunch of camo ceramics coming in here. We got to decamoize these guys. So we decamoize them all. A little bit lucky with that, but we need to get more camo detection. How are we going to do that, guys? With a mortar. I know. We're weird like that. So we're going to go for another one of these guys. And we're going to kind of just stagger them a little bit. We're going to put one over here and one over here. And that's going to allow us to do is hopefully decamoize them just a little bit easier. Now this is the weirdest thing to do, right? People think, wow, you're not only have unlimited camo detection with this stuff, you're getting more camo detection with a mortar, then you're going double more camo detection? That's just stupid, Chris. You don't need all that stuff. Well, hey, I'm pretty experienced in this game, and you know what? I got to tell you that problems have arose a lot more than you probably think. Because of me not getting enough camo protection. So, yeah. That's just my opinion. Feel free to not take it if you don't want it. So another thing you can do, though, is you notice where the DDTs are popping very, very quickly. So, you know, maybe we can get some insta-camo detection, and just before they leave, we can pop all these guys, so they don't have time to regrow by the time they get to the Arctic Wind. So we're going to do that. We're just going to speed this up. We feel really, really good about our defense. The only issue is now we don't have our farm, and they're just going to get harder and harder and harder. So we're not getting any money really by this point. As oh my god's only worth what? We have 1,100 right now. We're going to go up to 1,300 maybe. It's like $300 for a oh my god. Like that can't buy me nothing. Can't even buy me half a cannon, a 0-0 cannon. It just doesn't help very much. So that's why you only sell your farm when you're like, dude, I got the defense that I want, that I know that I can defend around 30th with very, very easily. So whoa. When the heck did we lose a life? I don't even know. I did not see that happen, by the way. When did that happen? Did that happen early game or what? It must have. Because like I said, I don't even remember the heck that happening. Alright. So we're still getting some money in here. We can still afford some stuff. What do we want to get? At this point, it's kind of just up to you guys. If you ran out of Moab Maulers, maybe get something like a Monkey Ace. That would be fun. Because it's like, woo! We get a 3rd tier Monkey Ace. The only problem is you usually want to try and fit him in the range of your Monkey Village so he can help out with the DDTs. Check it out, now he's got lead popping power, and regrow popping power, and camo popping power, and all that good stuff. So we go, and this is a complete wasteful upgrade, the spy plane, but I'm going to get it anyways, because it's only $258. It's the only reason that I actually got the Monkey Ace, which, again, feel free not to get the Monkey Ace if you don't like him. The only reason that I got the Monkey Ace was because he's favored. He's favored. He's only $670. He's fairly cheap. If we could afford a Spectre, oh my god, we'd be rocking the Bloons, man. We wouldn't even have we wouldn't really even quote unquote need an Arctic Wind. It'd be nice to have him, obviously, but we wouldn't need him. Oops, I froze it. So we're just straight up destroying literally everything. And you know what? If you didn't get that one farm, we would have a lot of issue. You don't realize how much money that farm made. They pay for themselves in about 10 rounds. So we made 3 times what we paid for that farm. It was about $5,000, and then we sold him. So we made about $20,000. $20,000 off that farm. About, you know, give or take a little bit. And we're going to easily take down round 30. That's going to be the end of this tutorial. If this helped you out, you know, obviously let me know that it did. If it didn't help you out, let me know why. You know, I'd like to, you know, make my videos better for you guys. I like to strive for excellence. So if you have any suggestions on how I can make these better, of course, throw them in the comments below. Like if you liked the video, and have a super duper delicious day.